very good afternoon to all of you. Thanks for joining us here on Mirror Now. I'm Afrida Rahman Ali. We begin with updates coming in on the Punjab crisis, where on one hand you had a compromise formula announced, followed by the official elevation of Navjot Singh Sidhu as the Punjab Congress Unit chief. But even after that appointment was made, the internal differences continue, with more meetings now being held by both the camps. You have Captain Amarinder Singh meeting with his loyalist MLAs, and Navjot Singh Sidhu, on the other hand, has now made a statement after his elevation where he expressed his gratitude to the Congress High Command and said that he will work with every member of the Congress party. However, Captain Amarinder Singh does not find a mention in that statement. On the other hand, as per sources, like I said, CM Amarinder will meet Congress MLAs as well as the district Congress chiefs who support him today. Remember, both Sidhu and Amarinder Singh have been engaged in a bitter factional war for weeks, with both sides expressing their objections and concerns to the Congress High Command.
नौजवान है, फिरता है, जब हाई कमांड ने डिसीजन लिया है तो सोच समझ कर ही लिया है और एक एक्टिव पार्लियामेंटेरियन भी था और अब एक्टिव एमएलए है और मिनिस्टर भी था, तो अच्छा काम करने का उनमें जोश है, सो वी वेलकम इट.
So what does Congress's move signify? We are going to put that out for our viewers, where clearly this decision has a message embedded in it. It strengthens Sidhu's position in Punjab Congress. The decision is indicative of Priyanka Gandhi's decisive say and weightage in party decisions. It also indicates that all working presidents, the names that are out now, are basically Rahul Gandhi loyalists. So that is again a big message that is out there loud and clear. Social balance maintained in appointing working presidents. We are referring to the 4 working presidents whose names have also been announced, and they're appointed in the Punjab Congress Unit to work under Navjot Singh Sidhu, who is now the chief of the Punjab Congress Unit. This decision has not gone down well with the supporters of Captain Amarinder Singh, even though the Chief Minister earlier said that whatever decision the High Command makes will be accepted and honoured. But following that, there were further rumblings that Captain Amarinder Singh is not happy with this elevation. His supporters have come out openly and said that this is not acceptable to the Chief Minister. So clearly, on one hand, you have the Chief Minister saying that all he asks for is a formal apology for the kind of derogatory statements made against him, and he's willing to accept Sidhu as the PCC chief. But then on ground, the kind of movements that are happening indicate that all is not well really within the Punjab Congress even now. Let me go across to Pradeep Datta joining me with more input. So Pradeep, you're watching the developments closely. Tell us what's happening with your eyes and ears on the ground. What are you picking up? Is there another feud brewing, with Captain Amarinder Singh meeting his loyalists, and Sidhu not mentioning the Chief Minister in his first statement after taking over? And of course, also apparently, the Chief Minister has not yet congratulated Navjot Singh Sidhu for his appointment.
Yes, you're absolutely right. All doesn't seem to be well within the Congress party, because we have seen, if you look at the Twitter activity also, only few people congratulated Navjot Singh Sidhu. Most of the member parliament chose not to utter a word in this regard, because already they have expressed their resentment because old guard is not really happy with Navjot Singh Sidhu. So far as the Chief Minister is concerned, not a single statement has come from his side. And it clearly shows that Chief Minister Captain Amarinder Singh, though he has claimed that he has no option but to accept his appointment, but he's yet to absorb the reality, because reason being that he feels that he had been sidelined. He has been completely ignored. Why he feels that he has been ignored? Because he has already written a letter to Sonia Gandhi, and then after that there was an open letter written by some of his loyalist legislators also, that all these things were not taken into consideration, because party had made up its mind to appoint Navjot Singh Sidhu as president of the party. So Captain Amarinder Singh, the another reason for his being annoyed with the party is that 4 working presidents that have been appointed, though they are representing all the sections of Punjab, Malwa belt, Doaba belt and Majha belt, But no one is, in fact, from the captain's camp. So captain feels completely sidelined. But his reason is obvious, that because he feels that at a time when there was no one to take care of Congress, and it was a Modi wave, he was the one who had steered party to power. So at least he should have been consulted. He should have, they should have spoken to him before taking any such decision, because captain feels that Navjot Singh Sidhu will not be able to keep flock together. He had already conveyed it to the party that it will cost them dearly. So far as Navjot Singh Sidhu is concerned, a short while back, he has reached Chandigarh. He will be meeting Tripat Bajwa. He's a cabinet minister. Tripat Bajwa has already asked Captain Amarinder Singh to forgive Navjot Singh Sidhu whatever derogatory remarks and the statements he had made in the past, because Navjot Sidhu had been openly criticizing Captain in past. He said that Captain as a
Yes.
chief minister has failed to fulfill the promises which he had made to people of Punjab. So he had asked, Tripat Bajwa has asked, the way he has forgotten what Pratap Singh Bajwa has done. The same thing should be done with, in case of Navjot Singh Sidhu also. He should keep a big heart. Let's see. Navjot Singh Sidhu will be meeting Tripat Bajwa and other legislators here in Chandigarh, and after that he is expected to go to Congress headquarters. Let's wait and watch whether there is going to be that good camaraderie picture which we are expecting. Maybe Captain and Navjot Singh Sidhu will be having together, because party wants there should be no two power centers. At least they should work as one unit, because that will be good for the Congress party.
Yes.
But right now everything doesn't seem to be well, because on camera they say all is well, but behind closed doors something else is happening.
Yes, so one might argue that it will take some time for the dust to settle, and this is supposed to be a truce, but is it really going to be a truce or not? Like Pradeep says, we'll have to wait and watch. Also, immediately some more updates coming in, where posters of Sidhu have been put up in Chandigarh after his appointment as the state Congress president. Visuals on your screens of these posters that we're talking about immediately after the appointment was announced. Following that, also, we are now tracking the issue of how the structure is built in the Punjab Congress Unit, where apart from appointing Sidhu as the Punjab Congress president, the party has appointed 4 working presidents in the party. All 4 men chosen are Rahul Gandhi loyalists. Now, since both top positions, that of the CM and the state party chief, are being held by Jat Sikhs, the Congress has made an attempt to balance out the representation of caste equations in the state with these posts. The 4 posts are now occupied by a Sikh from OBC background, a scheduled caste Sikh, and a Hindu and a Jat leader. So that is insofar as the balancing act with regards to representation of the various caste groups that is being done. Like I mentioned, 4 working presidents announced who will be working under Navjot Singh Sidhu. They are Sangat Singh Gilzian, Sukhwinder Singh Dani, Pawan Goyal and Kuljit Singh Nagra. Each of them are appointed apparently because of the kind of representation they have in Punjab, and because of certain caste balance equations that have to be maintained. So clearly this is a structure that is being built now with the newly appointed working presidents, 4 of them appointed, and of course Navjot Singh Sidhu will be heading the Punjab Congress Unit. With that decision being taken, it is being interpreted as a snub to Captain Amarinder Singh. The fact that despite his resentment, despite his objections to Sidhu's elevation, this decision was taken. That is now creating a lot of disruption and resentment in the Captain Amarinder Singh camp, owing to which today we are told that Captain Amarinder Singh will be meeting with his supporting MLAs, whether the idea is to quell their concerns and to somehow make them understand that this is a decision that has to be accepted, or for something else. We'll have to wait and see. Now, let me go across to Vipin Pabbi, senior journalist, joining me on the phone line. Good afternoon, Mr. Pabbi. I want to begin by asking you that even though the Congress envisaged that this is going to be a truce and a compromise formula, immediate reactions and the immediate developments that we are seeing indicate something totally different, that clearly that one camp is not placated, and that is of Captain Amarinder Singh.
Very right, very right. In fact, today is a very crucial day, because the Captain Amarinder Singh camp, they were not expecting this decision to come late at night. But I think what happened was something interesting, which I would like to share with you, is that yesterday, the former Congress President Sunil Jakhar had called for a meeting of the MLAs, and it was perhaps at the behest of the Congress High Command. But in the evening itself, the supporters of Captain Amarinder Singh started calling up MLAs from the Congress and asking them not to attend this meeting. Now, that would have been very, very serious problem for the Congress High Command in case Sunil Jakhar had called a meeting and most of the MLAs would have absented from it. So perhaps that is the immediate trigger for this late night announcement last night. But now the Captain Amarinder Singh hasn't reacted. He hasn't reacted so far. I think he is meeting his supporters at the moment, and perhaps they will form some kind of a strategy or something. He has neither welcomed his appointment, and he has certainly got a big snub because he was asking at least an apology from Sidhu, which Sidhu has not given. So it's a big snub certainly for Captain Amarinder Singh, and I don't think he is going to take it all lying down.
Okay, that's interesting. But I want to ask you, Vipin Pabbi, that, the die is cast. Now Navjot Singh Sidhu is formally appointed as the PCC chief. So let's assume that this is irreversible. What can happen, the worst case scenario? What do you think? Because elections are about 6 months away. With one side still angry and resentful, what is the worst case scenario that you think can happen if this is a final decision after all?
Yes, the divide between the two groups is too deep and too sharp now. Captain Amarinder Singh, I know, maybe he had been in the past also, he's not been sticking to one particular thing. So I would like to remind the viewers also that even earlier he had left the Congress and joined the Akalis, and then had subsequently gone back to the Congress. So he's not that kind of a dyed in the wool that Congress is, that he will just stay on and on. So with this kind of a humiliation and all that, it may not be totally ruled out that he takes some steps to assert himself. So that part cannot be ruled out. He has support in the entire state. There is no doubt about it. He has that charisma. He retains that, even though whatever kind of performance of his government. But he is known all across the state, and he is known as Punjab the captain. So I think that's why today is very crucial as to he'll take his decision on what to do ahead.
Yes, but do you also see this as, an indication of Captain Amarinder being sidelined in favor of Sidhu? Do you see this as Rahul and Priyanka Gandhi weighing in for the first time in a major, decisive way in a party decision?
Yes, absolutely. He has been sidelined in a way because as Congress president, Navjot Sidhu, and with his 4 of his working presidents, they are going to try to dominate the ticket distribution. Now, that is a very, very key thing for the next election. Earlier, last time, it was entirely 100% given to Captain Amarinder Singh, and he won the election with 77 MLAs, very comfortable majority. And last time, he broke no interference from the High Command. He made it very clear that he will not brook any interference, and that he will have his own candidates, and he won it. But this time, his wings have been clipped very, very clearly. So, it's with one president and 4 working presidents, so all of them are going to dominate the ticket distribution, which would mean whatever the outcome in the assembly election, the MLAs who get elected may not be Amarinder loyalists. Not a majority of them, at least. So that could lead to a very serious problem.
Yes.
It's a big test for Captain Amarinder Singh, because his political career is almost ending with this kind of a decision. And whatever little clout he has, he will be losing it. Because after all, quite a section of MLAs who were earlier loyal to him will naturally now go to Navjot Sidhu, because they know the power has shifted from one group to another. So that is his danger. And for Captain Amarinder Singh, who said last time, that during the election, that was his last election, and he's 79-year-old. So I don't think he has much of a political future left, unless he decides to take things in his own control and take some decision which could be very significant in the current political embargo.
Yes. All right. Thanks for joining us, Mr. Vipin Pabbi. Appreciate your sharing your views with us. Thanks for joining us.